How you doing, brothers and sisters? This is Dre Solo, aka Andre Judah Thomas, aka Amanyataza Anyash, which means strong man or brave man. But today I just want to share with you a little bit of spiritual food, some holy information from the basics on to understand this doctrine. So if you got a Bible or a King James Version Bible, just open your books up for me. So I'm going to start here at Isaiah chapter 28, verse 9, 10, 11. Whom shall he teach knowledge? And who shall he make understand doctrine? Them that are weaned from the milk and drawn from the breast. Which means, like newborn babies drinking milk, which means we have to be born again to relearn the knowledge of Christ. We all know the Most High knows everything before stuff is said or stuff is done. So he already knew that through slavery and stuff like that, we was going to be taught wrong. The Bible ain't wrong, but it's just the people teaching it don't teach it how they supposed to teach it. So, it's weaned from milk and drawn from the breast. Like newborn babies drinking milk, the word milk represents the word, the wisdom of the word. So now we're going to 10. For a precept must be upon precept, precept upon precept, line upon line, line upon line, here a little and there a little. That's why, which means that's why, how like you read the Bible and the story began, and then you keep reading, next you know it cuts off and another story began, and somewhere either in the middle or the end of the Bible, that story picked back up. That's what it means, here a little, there a little. It's the precepts are scattered. So once you get, this is the tool of the book on how to understand the book. Once you follow these tools, you get the full understanding at its full concept. Now we at 11. For stammering lips and another tongue will he speak to his people. Meaning we have to follow the book with the precepts upon precept, here a little, there a little, line after, the line after line. We have to follow the instructions, basically, the tools of the Bible to get the full understanding. Like, for example, I'm going to give y'all like 4 examples of precepts. So, example number 1, like I said, we had Isaiah chapter 28, verse 9. You see how verse 9 talks about, the milk, them that are weaned from the milk and drawn from the breast. So we about to see what this milk talks about. So this is the first precept, Isaiah chapter 28, verse 9. Now we're going to go to 1 Peter chapter 2, verse 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Verse 1 through 5. Wherefore laying aside all malice and all guile, and hypocrites and envious and all evil speakings, as a newborn baby, desire the secret milk of the word, that ye may grow thereby. There we go with the newborn babies. And desire the milk of the word. Like I said, the milk represents the word. That ye may grow thereby, meaning growing in the true knowledge of the word. Which means the word, we all know the word is Christ. Christ is the word. So being baptized again unto Christ, that's receiving the word. That's how that's how you start the milk. That's how you start getting the milk drawn from the breast. As newborn babies, being retaught of the book. Like I said before, growing up, we were taught, the things we were taught growing up is not accurate. And some of it is a little over-exaggerated. But like I said, it's not true or it's not full in its context, the stuff we were taught growing up in these churches. That's why the saying being born again was said. Because we know we physically can't be born again. He meant by spiritually and spiritually wisdom, by this, knowledge. You have to reteach yourself. The spiritual knowledge is what he mean by being born again. So now we at 3. If so be ye have tasted that the Lord is gracious, to whom coming as unto living stone, disallowed indeed of men, but chosen by God and precious. Ye also, as lively stones, are built up a spiritual house, an holy priesthood, to offer up spiritual sacrifices acceptable to God by Christ. Like I said, you see that milk, when you drink that milk, when you get that true knowledge, then you get accepted by God, because now you're getting the true knowledge of him. You're being chosen by God, and now you building that. The foundation is always built. Christ is the foundation, but now you building stones on top of that foundation, which is Christ. You're going farther in by continue to get that milk, which is this wisdom, which is this knowledge. So you building your spirit up. You strengthening your spirit, because that verse that said, "My people is taken away by lack of knowledge." This is the beginning of getting that knowledge. So 1 Peter chapter 2, 1 through 5 is the second precept. Let's go to the third precept. I know y'all like, man, he got so many Bibles. But the third precept is 1 Corinthians. We're going to go to 1 Corinthians chapter 3, verse 1 and 2. And I, brethren, could not speak unto you as unto spiritual, but as unto carnal, even as unto babies in Christ. There we go with the babies. I have fed you with milk. There we go with the word, the understanding. He fed us with the understanding. I have fed you with milk and not with meat, for hither ye were not able to bear it, neither ye now are ye able. There we go. He giving us that milk, that knowledge now. Like I said, when you receive Christ, we babies unto Christ, receiving him. Now, when we receive that milk from Christ, we getting that true wisdom. That's basically what he's saying. You have to relearn this doctrine. Relearn. So, last but not least, hold on, let me get this out the way. Okay, last but not least, this is an older Bible, but you want to turn your Bibles to Hebrews chapter 5, verse 12 and 13. For the time ye ought to be teachers, ye have need that one teach you again, which be the first principles of the oracles of God, and are become such as have need of milk and not of strong meat. You notice we done read 4 different chapters, and all had the same word that related in all the chapters, which is the word milk. Them are the precepts. That's what precepts is. It all concern the word milk, which means the word or the knowledge of the word. So that's what it means. Line up all the precepts. The precepts is in different chapters. The first precept was in Isaiah chapter 28, verse 9. Second precept was in 1 Peter's chapter 2, verse 1 and 2. Third precept was in 1 Corinthians. What was that? 1 Corinthians chapter 3, verse 1 and 2. And then the fourth precept is in Hebrew chapter 5, verse 12 and 13. So let me go to 13. For everyone that useth milk is unskillful in the word of righteous, for he is a baby. There we go. That's that being born again. Relearning like babies learn. Like I said, we physically can't be reborn again, but spiritually, by the knowledge of the Most High, is what he meant by being born again. That's what that whole concept means of being born again. Reteach yourself, relearning from this word. You might not know But like it said here, ye have need that one teach you again, and that's what I'm helping do. I'm following this book. This is what I'm doing right now. I'm helping teach you, what you didn't know, because I didn't know, and I had to be taught too. And the real apostles of Christ, the real children of Christ, we here to spread the gospel. That's what we're here for. We're here to spread the gospel. That's what we're supposed to do. Because we don't supposed to know this truth and don't help nobody out. That's not what we supposed to do. But in His Word, following the tools of the Bible and following the book, how you really supposed to follow the book, that's when I end up finding out I'm a Hebrew Israelite. Hebrew Israelite is not a cult. It's not a religion. It's a bloodline direct from Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. It's a direct bloodline. And not only that, Christ came out of that bloodline too. So, and also when I was in the Christian church, they didn't teach. I didn't know nothing about the tools. I didn't know nothing about Isaiah 28:9 and 10 when it talks about precept upon precept, a little here, line upon line, a little here, a little there. I was never taught that in the church as growing up. I was never taught in Deuteronomy chapter 28:68 when it said, "My people is taken away by cargo slave ships." I didn't learn that either. I didn't learn none of this until I started reading this book for myself, and then until I had elders from Gathering of Christ Church, which is GOCC, Elder Ricard, Elder Loyal, until they shared this true doctrine. Becoming an Israelite changed me. Back in the day, y'all know me, Dre from Center Street and all that stuff. Y'all know what I, dancing at parties and breaking hearts. Pretty Boy, had the waves and all that stuff, man. Back in those days, I didn't see myself doing what I'm doing now. I didn't see myself getting in this word like this. I'm addicted to truth and understanding. That's what I'm addicted to. And ain't nowhere in this world where you receive that but this book. And this book changed me, man. It gave me purpose. I respect women more. I don't break hearts. I don't lust. I don't fornicate. I stopped smoking. I don't drink to get drunken. This work really changed me. Becoming an Israelite, walking that godly path, actually got me doing that for real. So I just wanted to share that with you. It's my first video. Us at Israelite, it's our job to spread the gospel. So by me spreading the gospel, I just wanted to start from the basics on showing you, the tools of the Bible and how to understand it. So by that be a sin, or by that be said, blessings be unto you and yours. Thank you for giving me the opportunity, and thank you for listening.